Hey everybody, welcome to episode 39 of the Gene Pool Variety Hour.
Gene Pool Variety Hour.
You always dive in like that. My name is Sean. I'm the old guy. I'm the dad of the group. I'm the old nerd of the family. And that guy over there is...
And I am Connor, the one who obviously got the looks in the family. I mean, just look at this jawline and then look at that jawline, and you see that's where I get it from.
Yeah. So anyway, this is not our normal night. We are usually doing this on Friday night, but we did not get to do it Friday night, so we're doing it on Saturday night.
That's my B, everyone. That's my B, everyone.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go there, but anyway. So Connor was having a little bit of a rough day yesterday, so we just decided to shift it today. And also, hopefully you guys can tell that things sound differently on my end. For those that have watched the podcast, watched the stream the last few weeks, you've probably noticed that my mic is sounding worse and worse and worse. Apparently it was dying. So some of my buddies that are more seasoned streamers than I am and sound engineers helped me do some troubleshooting and kind of helped me figure out that my mic was just kind of dying. So I got a new one. So I now have a HyperX Quadcast. And I love this thing. Not because it's got a little light in it. You know, Connor likes the bling stuff, and I used to when I was younger. I'm old now. I don't care about the light. I just wanted it to sound better. And I think
these
it does.
headphones can actually bling. Hang on, if I plugged them up, but I don't have any spare outlets.
Mine too. You know, mine that I play with the Xbox, they've got a USB plug to make them light up. I could care less. So anyway, hopefully you can testify to the fact that this sounds better than the other mic. Does it? To you, Connor? I'm asking I'm asking you.
I'm sorry.
I'm asking you. I'm looking at you, and I'm asking you.
I thought you were talking to the audience.
No, and I just realized that anyway, that's okay. I forgot to start recording, so I'll have to just download this off of Twitch and then get the audio from there. So I'll do that.
Come on, Dad.
Yeah, you know, I'm managing multiple different things here. Oh, and by the way, I forgot Chase. So that's there we go. Anyway.
Are you sure that's gonna get him in?
Yeah, he's right there. I can see him. See, because I'm looking at the OBS stream, you're looking at the Zoom stream. So the camera looks
at the Twitch stream.
Right. So you're looking at the Twitch stream?
Yeah. How else am I going to interact with people who comment in?
Well, that's true. That's true. So, but because I'm running on OBS Studio, I've got the chat right here, so I can see it right here. It's awesome. Not that anybody's here because it's Saturday night, or what are we having to do? Some kind of meditation or something? What's going on over there in Ohio right now?
I'm psyching myself up. I'm centering myself well while also acting goofy at the same time.
Okay. Well, anyway,
I am at my goof center right now.
Okay, that's good to know. So anyway.
You want me at my goof center. That's what brings in the bucks.
You know, apparently the pizza rant went over quite well with friends last week. So I had a much better experience with pizza yesterday. We decided to go with Fox's Pizza instead of your old place. Much better. Better pizza.
I've never really liked Fox's Pizza. Their stuff is way too thin.
It is thin. You're right. It's a thinner crust, but the sauce is so much better than Marco's.
They use too much of it though. They use so much sauce. Their pizzas all look red. You forget. For a brief time, I worked at Fox's Pizza too.
Oh, that's true. But anyway, so the point is, it was much better. The experience was better. The pizza was better. And it was actually done according to order this time. The first time, not the second time either, like last time. Anyway, but
I've kind of got a pizza rant too, by the way.
Oh, okay, go.
Yeah.
Are we going to be like a pizza podcast now? I mean, what's this all about?
I don't. That'd be a good podcast. I would watch that.
Okay. Anyway,
yesterday I ordered from Pizza Hut, and so I got their large pan pizza, and they messed it up. I asked for...
Well, that's not good.
I asked for extra cheese, extra sauce, they gave me light sauce, and light cheese, and then I also asked for double pepperoni and bacon.
Mm-hmm.
They gave me regular pepperoni. In fact, one would even call it light pepperoni, and no. And they were overcooked.
Okay. I don't
they
know.
Were black.
I didn't hear you. Hopefully they did. I think you dropped it.
Come on.
No, just for like 2 or 3 seconds.
Come on, son.
The audio engine had to get restarted. Sometimes it does that. We've had pretty good luck with it lately, but it kind of crashed there for a second. Anyway,
anyway, it sucked yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, and today, just like an hour before we were getting started, got a crisis in the house. So you know that nobody was
crisis.
So you know that nobody was here when I started doing Christmas decorating. They were out in Oklahoma, right? Because COVID and Thanksgiving, and I had to stay here. And so I was doing some decorating, including the mantle, and there was some stuff on the mantle that wasn't Christmas stuff and needed to come down. So I got the Christmas stuff out for the mantle over the fireplace.
What'd you break?
Hold on. I didn't break anything. And put that stuff up, and then took the stuff that was on the mantle, and I was positive that I put everything in that bin. And so then when we broke down all the Christmas stuff, I just took all that stuff down, put it back in that bin, took the stuff in the bin, and put it back on the mantle. Apparently, everything except that heart rock. The heart rock.
You lost the heart. You lost the heart rock.
It's in the house somewhere. Obviously, it didn't get thrown away or moved or mailed to anyone else or given as a gift. It's here somewhere. I just can't find it. Now, people need to understand the importance of this heart rock. Let me tell you the story about this heart rock, okay?
I know who found it.
I know, and I'm going to let you... Right, I know. But your mom and I were just talking about why that... your mom is not the most sentimental person, and she only has a few things that are really super important, and that's one of them. About 10 years ago, maybe going on 11 now, I was home working, and my wife and my boys were all out in Oklahoma visiting in-laws, father-in-law, mother-in-law, and all of them for the summer. They used to do that when the kids were little. And my father-in-law passed away while they were there. He had a stroke. It was unexpected. It was pretty traumatic and pretty upsetting for everybody. But luckily, all the family was there except me, which was great. So they were there with him, which was wonderful. But they live out in the middle of Oklahoma and have a lot of their own land, and they have a creek that runs through their land. And just to try to distract the kids and distract my wife and her sisters and my mother-in-law with everything that was going on, they decided to walk down to the creek and just kind of spend some time down at the creek. And while they were down at the creek, as all this emotionally traumatic family stuff was going on, Connor reached down into the creek and found a what?
A rock. A rock. How come it was about the size of my head, and it somehow eroded and cracked all that good stuff into the shape of a heart.
It was not an exact shape of a heart anatomically, but the exact shape of a heart that you would draw for for Valentine's.
That kind of heart, that kind of heart.
It was perfect, and so and then he gave it to my wife, and just because he wanted her to feel better, and that's because that's Connor's heart. He wants people to feel better. He just has a good heart, and so.
Aww.
Here that my wife lost her dad unexpectedly, and Connor finds a heart and gives it to her at that same time. So that heart has a lot of value to her, and so I'm kind of beating myself up pretty hard right now until I find that thing. So tomorrow after church, I'm getting in the attic and I'm going through every single Christmas bin that we have in the attic again. So I may be in the attic for a few hours, but I've got to find it. So anyway, that was happening right before the podcast started tonight. So I was a little distracted, Anyway, I don't have that. That's kind of what's going on right now. So anything fun or interesting or boring or anything like that going on with you?
Let's see. I got to hang out with the in-laws on my end again today. While me and Nikki were doing laundry, just just a casual kind of hangout type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I go every Saturday. I'm off because that's when me and Nikki do laundry
Right.
traditionally,
Right.
and 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 as always we end up getting into telling stories and having kind of like family type talks,
Mm-hmm.
which it's kind of like a it's interesting coming from my end
Mm-hmm.
because they are open about everything. They talk about everything, no holds barred. They just let it all out,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of new to me.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I mean, it is when you think about it.
okay. Now, we were pretty open about things. There were just I mean, there were things that your mom and I would talk about or do or be involved with that we wouldn't talk to our children about. But we were pretty open about things. I mean, you and I've had some conversations recently that are pretty open. So anyway, well, do you want me to go into detail?
We never finished them. That's the thing.
That's true. But that's
true.
But that's a testament to both your and my ADHD. More than anything else.
But didn't you tell me just the other day you were going to get back to me about those questions, but you never did?
Case in point, ADHD.
But yeah,
So
the stories I love hearing about the most are the stories of Mr. Sexton, during his army days,
yeah.
Because
hold my beer, watch
some real
this.
gut busters.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of his stories literally involved a line just like that.
Okay. Almost every outlandish military story starts with, and so there I was. Almost everyone starts that way. So anyway.
Oh man. I would repeat them if I could, but
yeah.
But it's a combination of being inappropriate for this type of stream, family friendly
not
type
family
stream.
friendly, not family friendly.
And,
gotcha.
And two, I'm worried that I may accidentally divulge too much information and end up being a target.
Okay. Understood.
So, you know what that's like, right? I got to keep a tight lip about some things.
Dude, I'm a psychologist. That's kind of my job. Professionally, at least. Right. So, anyway.
Yeah. Every time I go over there, I always end up busting my gut laughing,
Yeah. They're pretty funny. They're pretty funny when we got to meet them when we moved your stuff up. So,
yeah.
So, anyway. Anything else going on?
This morning it snowed, so that was fun.
Nice.
And I slipped and fell flat on my butt, getting laundry bags in the car.
You gotta learn how to walk in the snow, dude. Small steps.
I was taking small steps. Okay. I was taking small steps.
Yeah.
In sneakers. While carrying two unbalanced loads of laundry across the parking lot. But so, I was kind of like waddling a bit, and my weight constantly shifting, and then the weight just kind of got caught underneath my feet, and I just basically went thump flat on my butt.
Cool. Well, that's not good, but you'll learn how to walk in the snow.
Yeah.
And it's better to walk in the snow than it is to walk on the sidewalk because it's going to get icy. So that's one of the things that I learned. Yeah, I would actually walk in the snow before I would walk in the on the sidewalks. So As far as anything going on my end, not much. Playing. I know you were playing Valhalla. I know you've been playing that because you were playing that a while ago, right before we started.
Yeah.
So how do you like it? How is it compared to the other Assassin's Creeds?
All right. Compared to the other Assassin's Creed games, it's similar to the new generation of games in which there's a level system. You can find more gear and loot. It's more open world type thing.
Right.
And because of that, it feels a lot more broad, a lot more expansive compared to the older generation of Assassin's Creed games. 2 Brotherhood, Revelations, all those. Where the kind of open world in a way in which you can explore everything in this one city. And then a thing that's different from the previous new generation games is that one, they finally bring back the hidden blade, which is awesome because in a couple of the previous games, in Odyssey, I've played that too, and I know, and there's no hidden blade there. He uses basically a spear he's made in, it's like a dagger type thing, as his assassination blade.
Right.
And I don't remember exactly what's used in Origins. But it's cool that they bring back the hidden blade. But the main character does something different that the first generation of assassins didn't do. Remember how in one of the first generation of assassins had to put the blade underneath their forearm, and they had to cut off their ring finger as sacrifice. The main character here, Eivor, they put it on top of their arm, so kind of glides over their hand, So it's not really a hidden blade. It's more like a retractable blade still, And so that's a cool nod to the previous generation games while still keeping it new.
Right.
And then also another thing that's different from the previous games is settlement building. You're able to build up your own settlement in England after you and your brother travel from Norway to England to strike out on your own.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Which actually, it's similar to Assassin's Creed 3 with Connor helping build the homestead and finding new people to join the homestead. But you wouldn't know that because you never played it.
Nope.
Exactly.
So
you stopped after 2.
I did, and
you missed out on a lot of good stuff.
I'm sure I did, but I don't know, man. I lost interest in Assassin's Creed, and I've got my buddy Brandon is all about Assassin's Creed. He'll play every single Assassin. He's like you, he'll play every single Assassin's Creed, probably multiple times or whatever. And then I've got the other friend Mitch. He's played a couple of times, and then he lost interest just like I did. So,
get me in touch with Brandon. I want to talk some AC with him.
You know Binky. You know Binky. Yeah. I mean, he's one of our gamer dudes, So I
don't think
I keep inviting you to come play with us on Friday nights. All you gotta do. I mean, last night it could have been me and you because nobody else showed up last night. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Friday night, 10:00 every Friday night. That's what we're doing. Last week we played golf with friends on that Game Pass game. It's hilarious. It's so fun because it's mini golf, and it's crazy mini golf with like black holes and stuff on the on the holes. It's just nuts, and so it's fun, and you get 5 or 6 of us in there. There's a lot of laughing, and fun will be had by all. But
yeah. So
anyway, anything else going
on? Let's see. I have some fun Pokemon news. This is something me and Nikki are really excited about because
you finally caught Mewtwo.
Dad, I've had like 5 Mewtwo's. Two of them are maxed out. One of them is shiny, and the other two I've gotten from previous games.
What's the rarest Pokemon there is?
There is
catch.
no rarest Pokemon.
The hardest one to catch.
The hardest one to catch?
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the legendaries, but at the same time, they're not even that hard to catch if you use the right strategy of status effects, low HP, and the different types of capture balls. You know.
Yeah.
So
it's all about the balls, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
In this scenario, it is all about the balls.
In all scenarios, it's all about the balls.
Anyway, the big news is that one of our favorite Pokemon games, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, is getting a remake for the Switch.
Oh, cool! That's nice.
Yeah. It was one of the first. It was one of the first DS Pokemon games because it was the fourth region,
right?
You know,
right.
And it was the very first game. It was the very first Pokemon game Nikki ever played, and she loved. That's what got her hooked into the series. You know,
right. Okay, cool.
I just can't wait to see what's gonna be like. Is it gonna be a sort of updated open world concept like Sword and Shield? Is going to be kind of an overhead but updated view, kind of like Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. I want to know these things.
Yeah. Well,
just deadpan. You don't give a crap.
I don't. I'm not a Pokemon guy. I mean, I did the Pokemon Go thing. I know it's not real Pokemon. I get it, but I did that just because everybody else was doing it, and it's fun to collect stuff. But I'm not gonna buy game after game after game after game after game doing that same thing. I'm just not.
Oh, speaking of collecting, there's this game called Slime Rancher.
I've heard of it. Yeah, I think it's on Game Pass.
I downloaded it today.
Yeah,
and I played it, and it's actually really fun.
So what do you do in Slime Rancher?
Basically you play a scientist, and you have the special gun that sucks up these creatures called slimes, and you do research on them. You feed them, take care of them, and you it's basically a sort of self homestead building collectathon type thing. And you can sometimes fight evil types of slimes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually really fun.
Cool. So, how things going at work? How things going with life? All that kind of good stuff.
Let's see. With work is work. You know, I get up at 4 a.m. every day. I make my sandwich or my protein shake, and I drive and I try to jam out to some high pumping songs to help wake me up. Wake me up inside, don't wake up.
What song is that?
Wake Me Up Inside.
Oh, okay. I had to listen to the words and put it in the correct music.
Don't wake up! Wake me up inside! I can't get up.
Who is that again? I don't know. I mean, I know the song.
I want to say it's Skillet.
Yes, I think so. I think you're right. So anyway, okay, cool.
And then basically me and my supervisor Jeff have been doing the same stuff. Tearing apart bad carriers, cleaning up the posts.
Yeah.
I'm putting together clean carriers, sending them online. Jeff has been having a rough time lately though because his wife can't catch a break.
I'm sorry.
Let's see. First she falls and breaks her hip. Then and then she gets a couple of blood clots in her system that has to be tried to fix. And then finally, after 3 other injuries that I can't even remember, she gets COVID.
Okay, so go ahead.
So it's piled up one ailment after another after another.
Right. So that was truly a chicken you just chased. But I felt bad pressing the chicken button while you're talking about COVID and broken hips. I didn't feel it was the right time to press the button. But can I press it now?
That is true.
Can I press it now because we chased a chicken? I mean, we haven't chased a chicken yet, so that's the first chicken we've chased. Can I press the button?
You may.
Thank you. Okay. So, all right. So on my end,
there are chickens in the hospital apparently.
Apparently. So on my end, not a lot's been different. Yeah, go ahead.
Besides losing the heart rock, there's nothing going on.
Thanks for the reminder. Appreciate that. That's why I'm drinking this, and we'll probably have another because I feel really bad. But anyway, so other than that, work is work. I'm supposed to be doing some traveling here soon. I'm supposed to be going to Savannah next week. We'll see. I'm supposed to go to Seattle 2 weeks after that, but we'll see because it's just travel. It's travel. But so I am anxiously waiting the arrival of my mutant powers because I got the first round of the COVID vaccine the other day.
Okay.
I got and it's working for the military. You're one of those groups that gets access to it earlier, and so I got it. So
try not to die. We don't want a zombie outbreak on.
Here's the thing. So one of two things will likely happen because we just experienced 2020. 2021 started with a violent coup in the national capital, federal capitol building. Oh my gosh, I'm not even going to go there.
I barely even know what happened.
I'm not going to, because this is a safe place. We're not going to get into politics. But I don't care if you're liberal or conservative. What happened that day was wrong and bad, and those people should go to jail. And I am a conservative, and those people should go to jail. I'm sorry. That was wrong what they did. They basically stormed the federal capitol and Congress. They literally broke into Congress.
Did they storm the White House?
No, they didn't storm. No, because they're the extreme Trump supporters on the extreme right side that just they believe in this whole conspiracy that the election was stolen and all that kind of stuff, which is not true. Whether there was some fraud or not in the election, and there probably always is in every single election. Oh, I'm chasing a chicken here for sure. Not enough to turn the election change the results.
Chicken. You know, it's one of the best chickens in the world. It's a presidential chicken, you know. just gotta suck it up and deal with it because it's the best chicken in the world.
It's a huge chicken. So anyway, apart from that,
whose Trump impression was better? Comment down below.
Oh, you were definitely better than me. Anyway, so. Where was I going with all of that? Oh, so the COVID vaccine, chicken,
the
COVID vaccine. So I got access to the COVID. So there's two types of There's two types of vaccines. Okay, there's the kind of the traditional kind of vaccine, which is basically contains a dead form of the virus. Okay, that goes in, so it doesn't cause you to have the illness, but it will build up your immunity against the virus. Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's this new one that's been it's relatively new, a new type of vaccine, and it's called an mRNA vaccine. And it actually, I don't understand it completely, but it's kind of a genetic kind of vaccine. It kind of gets in, and it actually teaches your cells to produce a protein to block the virus from getting in. Okay, so
it's rewriting your DNA.
No, it's not rewriting. It's just telling your DNA to produce extra of whatever this protein is that will block the virus from getting into your cells. So you have two different types of things. You have the dead virus, the old classic vaccine thing, and then you have like the DNA kind of, the RNA kind of vaccine. So in my opinion, one or two things is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
If you get the old style vaccine, zombie apocalypse. If you get the new style vaccine, X-Men. So I got the new one, so I'm anxiously waiting for my mutant powers to show up. I'm just sitting by.
Your powers are going to be.
I have no idea. I don't care. I just want some. Okay? I just want a
What
mutant
if they're
power.
super stupid?
I don't care. It's a mutant power. I don't care if I've got the frog tongue thing that dude had in X-Men.
No. I've got an idea of something that's worse than that.
What?
You turn invisible every time you fart.
Cool. I'm invisible all day then. Sweet.
No. And then when you fart again, you turn revisible. Well, but only your physical body becomes invisible, not your clothes. So it would only work if you're walking around naked.
You made that formula, remember? You made the formula.
Oh my god. Oh my god. From Luke's movie party.
Yes. Okay. So, let me tell you guys this story. So, Connor's got two younger brothers, and the next one down, there's a couple years younger than Connor, had a birthday party when, what was he, like 8, 10, somewhere around in there? I can't remember.
I think so, yeah.
And we used to try to have really interesting parties for Connor and Luke when they were younger. Like, we had a science party for Connor.
Jungle party for me, too.
Jungle party for you. We had a spy party for Luke. And then we had a movie party for Luke. We found this lady, and she would create scripts for like little short 20-minute movies or something for kids that you could do as like a party thing. And so we did this Space the Movie party with Luke, where all the kids that came to the party played a different role, and we taught them their lines, and they did this. It took all day, but we did it. And so part of that, Connor was Professor Yuri Mazing. That was his name, and he created he created a formula that would turn you invisible, but made you fart a lot.
Dad, please send me the movie if you have any more copies.
Literally
send me a disc of the movie.
Oh, also, yeah,
I want to show Nikki.
We've got some. I'll send you one. So when he's talked about that you turn invisible when you fart, that just threw me back to that, because at the end of the movie, I did some special effects with the movie. That at the end of the movie, everybody got together, the scientists and the Spacians and everybody was having good times, good and happy ending, and everybody drank some of the formula, and everybody turned invisible, and everybody was farting. So I had everybody freeze. I did this special effect where they all turned invisible, and then it put in this sound effect of like multiple farting. So that's what that was, and definitely deserves another chicken. So that was a big chicken we just chased. Invisible farting chickens? Sure, why not? So, I'm just now. I've got to get another round on in a couple of weeks. But I'm fully expecting to have. I'm fully expecting to have a full mutant power by then. So I'm anxiously awaiting that. Yes,
Nikki's not going to get the vaccine. You know, she says she's not going to trust anything that hasn't been fully tested. And
it has been
such. You know.
It has been because it wasn't just like drug companies that did these. They actually,
I know.
It was the Department of Defense. I mean, it was a huge thing. And the one that I got, the Pfizer one, actually has, I think, the best data, the best outcome data so far. So I feel pretty comfortable with it. No, it hadn't had any side effects or anything. It doesn't have any of the virus in it at all. So I don't have to worry about that.
So real quick.
Yeah.
Since you're vaccinated, does that mean you're exempt from the mask rule?
No. And I wouldn't do that. Okay. It will keep me. It will help me. It will help. Asking. Yeah, it will help me not get it. Okay.
Okay.
But it's still.
So it's not a cure. It's not a cure. It's just more of a shield against it.
Yeah, I would say so. You know, there were some reports early on that certain blood types were kind of immune to it or resistant to it. And I'm wondering if I have one of those blood types because, I mean, good grief, your brother and your mother both had COVID in the house and I never got it.
Same here.
You know,
several of my coworkers got COVID, and I never got anything. You know, Nikki was exposed, and I never got. Yeah, I never got anything, and we sleep in the same bed.
Yeah. So. That's one big thing that the COVID thing's going on. As far as the nerdy stuff, still playing Destiny, kind of working through this season. I've been meaning to play
something else.
Here's the thing. I've been meaning to play...
I will play with you if you play something else.
Okay. I've been meaning to play some other stuff. I just... I have very limited time to play, right? And so I try to get through the weekly stuff to kind of get that pinnacle gear that I want to get to kind of get my light level up. And, and I play whatever the guys are playing on Friday nights. That's what we play. Last week we played golf, I want to play East Shade. I really want to do an ongoing stream of that. But Friday nights is the only time I have to really do that. And so if I want to do that, I have to sacrifice my group fun gaming time. And my heater has been on in here this whole time. I just realized. So there's probably been this underlying the whole time this stream's been
I haven't
going.
heard it.
So that's what I've been doing there. I'm really happy that hockey started this week. The hockey season started this week.
Oh yeah, you're getting into hockey now.
And this is why. Okay, this kind of gets into the political stuff too. I've always been intrigued by hockey. I've just never really understood it. And it moves so fast that and not being raised.
And football doesn't move fast?
No, because you have plays, you have time to watch the plays develop as they're calling the play and all this kind of stuff. Whereas hockey's never stops moving. Basketball too, but basketball is still a little bit slower than hockey. And soccer's the same kind of thing, but soccer's even slower because it's just a bigger field, right? So I've always been intrigued by hockey. I've watched hockey periodically here and there. I'll watch sometimes I'll watch the Stanley Cup playoffs. But I've never really fully dove, whatever the correct grammar is.
Dove, Dad.
Into hockey. But something that I've been really frustrated with is everybody knows that the tagline for our podcast is your geek safe space, right?
Yeah.
Because we made a choice 2 years ago when we started doing this, that we were not going to talk politics, we were not going to jump into all that kind of stuff, that this was your place to get away and just enjoy talking about geeky stuff and not worrying about all that. Because what I had already noticed 2 years ago, and it's gotten much worse since then, that you can't get away from it. There's no place you can go to watch, to enjoy, to hang out, and not be bombarded with all the heavy, negative political stuff that's going on. And so that's the case with NFL, that's the case with the NBA, it's the case with the Major League Baseball, but NHL has kind of made a point to be as apolitical as they can be, to avoid all that as much as possible. So I'm going to support that because I want my sports. I'm not saying that they absolutely have the right. Those individual players absolutely have the right to protest, to express their beliefs, all that kind of stuff. But I don't want to see it every single minute of every single game. I don't want it to be the point where there has to be a comment about it every single game. I want to watch the game to enjoy sports because I like sports. So
of course,
we've decided, your mom and I, we're going to dive into hockey this year. So, we've been spending... Okay, there's a nice image.
What?
Okay, so for those of you that are just listening to the podcast and are not watching this, as I'm talking about sports and hockey and stuff, Connor's talking to his fiancée Nikki off screen, and she hands him a Q-tip, and he just starts digging in his ear. So he's just...
I have an itch.
So he has an itchy inner ear and is now scratching the heck out of it with a Q-tip. Okay. So, we don't know anything about hockey. We're still learning the basics of hockey and the rules and the teams because we've never really followed NHL. I could tell you a lot about the NFL because I followed the NFL for years. But we've never really followed the NHL. So, who do we root for? I mean, and we're kind of looking at, was it the Central? They kind of redone the divisions because Chicago, the Blackhawks are in that division. We lived in Chicago. Nashville's in that division, although I hear that, lot of people, all of my friends don't like them. They're the closest thing to a home team these days. But Columbus, which is where you live, Columbus, Ohio, the Blue Jackets are probably who we're going to root for. And there's a new expansion team coming next year, the Seattle Kraken. So I'm probably going to follow them too.
The Seattle Kraken?
The Seattle Kraken, yes.
Oh my God.
Release the Kraken! So I'm not a huge fan of their logo. It's kind of subdued. But the Columbus Blue Jackets is pretty cool. So I like that. So I'm probably going to start following them. So that's something new. We're becoming hockey fans, and man, so that's all I got kind of going on these days. So I don't really have anything else to talk about that.
Yeah, same here.
And that's all I got to say about that.
And that's the way it is.
Okay, that's Walter. Is that Walter Cronkite? Or...
Yes, that's Walter Cronkite.
I can't remember if it was Walter Cronkite or if that was the guy that came before Walter Cronkite. And that's the way it is. I can't remember. Anyway, and then, that's all I've got to say about that. That's Forrest Gump. So there you go. You referenced Walter Cronkite and I referenced Forrest Gump. So is there anything else you want to talk about before we dive into our other stuff? Because we've been doing this for oh my goodness, we've been going at it for 15 minutes already. And
wait, for how long?
50 minutes. Now, I would say 40 minutes because it was streaming for like 10 minutes before we actually started. So we've done nothing that we say we're going to do on the podcast, and we're already 40 minutes into it.
Oh, man. Okay. I say we do the Geek Question first.
We got to do the Geek Question here. Okay. All right, guys. So y'all get ready. We're going to do the Geek Question. Here it comes.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
So, all right. So the Geek Question is...
What is your least favorite movie trope and why?
I got my answer. I hope yours is not the same as mine because I don't have anything else. If it is,
mine is the trope of the hero meets the girl and they basically meet and interact for a few days and they're somehow totally in love. It's like you met this dude like 3 days ago and you're already head over heels in love with him, so much so you would go to the ends of the earth for him.
Right. You're
crazy. You're literally freaking stalker crazy if that happens,
Right.
That's almost close to freaking Stockholm syndrome.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, we just saw that recently in one of the movies we talked about, in Delirium, right? They only knew each other literally for, in the movie, 3 days. And then they're about to hook up, and they're about to save each other.
But they weren't in love. The brother was just trying to protect her because he didn't want another death because of him. That was just his good moral compass trying to protect someone.
Yeah,
we would all do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But a good example is when we just watched Fifth Element. Dude literally has a chick fall through his cab and somehow falls head over heels in love with her, even as she is speaking a dead language, and then pulls a gun on him and points it at his head. It's like, dude, and it's like it makes no sense.
To be
fair,
after
2 days, 48 hours.
To be fair, number one, he kissed her without her permission. That was the gun. Number two, she is perfect.
Not in my eyes.
In the movie. Come on. Anyway, which we'll get to in a minute. Okay. So your thing is the damsel is the hero meeting the damsel in distress and they fall in love immediately. That's the trope.
Exactly. It's a trope that's almost as old as damsel in distress. It is,
right.
I mean,
damsel in distress, Obi Wan, your only hope. That's why I put that up there. Exactly. Yeah, that's not my trope, but that was an example of one from that question. Yes.
It makes
your only hope. So,
it makes no sense. Now it would make sense if there's a series of movies, spanning at least a year, and they still interact with each other. Then I can understand. But in a single timeline movie, they meet. About 2 or 3 days of events happen where they're basically inseparable, and they fall in love and like hook up, and they get together forever and ever. Makes no sense to me. Makes zero sense to me.
Okay. Well, from a psychological point of view, this is a possible explanation of how that stuff happens. Okay. They're in a very traumatic, emotionally charged situation. So their emotions are going to run very, very high. Mm-hmm. And his connection to her is going to be very strong because he is saving her, and he kind of gets that kind of savior mentality, and in his brain, he's making her worthwhile of being saved. Therefore, she's an object worthwhile. And I'm not saying women are objects. I'm just saying psychologically, an object to be saved is of ultimate value. And so that kind of thinking can lead to him thinking that he's in love with her, probably more of an infatuation, okay? And the fact that she is saved by this person can also create that kind of feeling. So my feeling is, psychologically, that can happen a lot, but then they don't stay together for very long. So if there was like a Sleeping Beauty episode 2, they'd be divorced. I don't know, So, but
technically, with Sleeping Beauty, it was whole arranged marriage type thing to begin with.
That's the first thing popped in my head. Anyway, so
it would be more Snow White, if anything.
All right. Is that so? Anything else about yours?
I mean, what you said about the psychological stuff, I could have said that,
Yeah, but it can happen though. It can happen because your mom and I met in physics class in college, actually in physics lab in college.
And you saved her?
No, I didn't save her. But turns out she was dating some other dude, so maybe. But so we had been friends for a few weeks. I had wanted to ask her out for a long time. And not a long time, it was only a few weeks. And then I asked her to take her out for her birthday. And she finally fessed up. And she had said, well, talk about a trope. We have such a good friendship, I don't want to mess up our friendship.
You were in the friend zone?
But here's why.
You were in the friend zone.
She had a boyfriend. That's why, and she wouldn't tell me. So I said, okay, that's cool. So I just kind of put pressure on her. I said, that's fine. Let me just take you out for your birthday. Just friends, as your friend, let me just take you out for your birthday. Right? And on her...
Hey, Smashy.
Hey, Smash! So when I took her out for her birthday, that night, we went out to dinner. And she said, let's just drive around for a little while because we had some time before the movie we were going to go see. Mm-hmm. And she said, let's just drive around for a little while. I'm like, okay. And she had me go down a specific road. And as I'm driving down this road, that's when she told me she had a boyfriend. And the reason why she told me to go down that road is because he lived on that road, because she was worried that I was going to kick her out of my car when she told me she had a boyfriend.
Oh, my God.
And, of course, I didn't. It bothered me, but I didn't kick her out of my car, obviously.
But still,
and we went,
Dad,
and we went to the movie anyway. Finished the date, the friendship thing, right? And guess what movie I took your mother to on our first date?
101 Dalmatians.
Fatal Attraction.
Ha!
That was the movie we saw on our first date. Yeah. About a man cheating on his wife with a woman who ended up being bipolar and completely crazy and killing their bunny.
Bull the freaking rabbit.
Woo! So anyway.
Oh my gosh, Dad.
Okay, well, hold on. And so the story is, and man, this is big chicken. So then as we go,
it's an origin chicken.
We go see the movie. I take her home. And then the next day I have to go to a friend's wedding, right? So it's like a Friday night I took her out. Saturday I had to go to a wedding. Sunday morning she calls me. She broke up with her boyfriend. 2 weeks later we knew we were going to get married. We didn't get married. We didn't get married for 3 years. We dated for a year and a half, and then were engaged for a year and a half. But yeah, so it can happen fast. You can know quickly. It can happen. Okay. So, but in terms of like movie tropes, it's an overused movie trope.
Okay, so two things. One, I think I may have inherited your luck because I too escaped the friend zone with Nikki. You know. No. I was even deeper than the friend zone. I was in the bro zone because she called me because she used to call me the big brother she always wanted. You know,
that just is kind of creepy. That's just kind of creepy.
What we're now over that because because we're not stupid giddy teenagers.
I know. I'm just going for the joke.
But still, so I may have inherited your luck because it was I too escaped that zone and I'm now with the girl of my dreams.
Right. Well, that's good, and that's good. It's good for us all to have a good story. So, before we continue,
I was going to say one more thing. What was it?
Well, while you're thinking, let me just shout out to Smashy and just I hope everything's going okay after surgery and everything's good. So, I haven't heard specifically how things are going, but I'm assuming since you're in here, things are going fairly well. So that's good. And Connor, and if you showed up for horseshoes and hand grenades on Thursday nights, you would know. So.
Oh.
Oh yeah, you know what? You're in bed. Well, you're in bed asleep at that point almost because you got to get up so stinking early. That's right. I never sleep. So. And
I remembered my second thing.
Okay, I don't know what happened there. Oh,
think actually.
My mic cable. How in the world? I didn't touch my screen, but my mic cable on my touch portal actually. How in the world? How did that happen? That's not a finger.
Sticky
That's
cable?
A cord. I don't know, but
anyway, hey,
sleep is precious, but rare.
My thing is my second thing was yes you can know something about it, you can get this gut feeling inside you that's gonna marry this person, but a sane person would still go through the process of dating and just making sure they're actually compatible before diving headfirst in.
No, I know. You're right.
A bunch of these tropes that I see, these people basically meet, fall in love, get married all within at the latest a month period.
Right.
And the relationships that happen like that very, 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 very rarely actually end up happy.
Right.
The only exception I can think of is Aunt Paige and Uncle Rusty.
Two completely different families. Huh? How about Aunt Kim and Uncle Rusty?
Aunt Kim and Uncle Rusty.
Because Aunt Paige would be my sister, and Uncle Rusty would be your mom's sister's husband. That would be weird.
Sorry.
That would be weird.
Aunt Kim and Uncle Rusty. I thought that's what I said. Aunt Kim and Uncle Rusty.
Start singing. I'm my own grandpa after a while, man. Jeez, really?
Anyway, you know what I mean. They basically after a month knowing each other, and they spend what 20 years together.
Something like that, but I can't remember. No, they've been married longer than your mom and I have because they got married while we were dating in college.
So
they've been married longer than us, and we've been married 30. We've been married 30 years. So
okay, wow.
Yeah, because we got married in 90. So 90. Yeah, 90. I had to just double check for a second. So yeah, it'll be 31 years this year. All right. So my answer. Okay. First of all, literary question for Connor and Smashy, because you guys are more writers than I am. All right. What is it? Because I keep wanting to say soliloquy, but I'm not sure that that's the right one. When someone is having a long speech to someone else about something. Is that soliloquy? Because usually soliloquy, I think of it's just somebody talking to themselves, this long thing like in a play. But it can be to somebody else. So is it soliloquy?
A soliloquy is I believe a soliloquy is tied more into plays and playwrights, while monologue is
monologue.
More in books.
That's the word I was looking for. I'm bad at
monologue.
I'm demented. I have word finding problems.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm old and demented.
Yeah.
So anyway, monologue.
Monologuing is it's more for literature and
Right.
and cinema.
So that is my trope. The villain's monologue. I can't stand it. I'm sick and tired.
In distress thing.
No. I just when I was looking at the question, I was just kind of, and I saw in that question, it made me think of that. I actually had a client go, "Is that a real wall or a fake wall?" When I was doing a video session the other day, and I went, "No, it's a fake wall from my Blanket Fort podcast room." I'm thinking I'm going to trademark Blanket Fort Studios. That's going to be a trademark. Anyway.
If it's not already trademarked.
Yeah, it probably already is. So, no, mine is definitely the villain soliloquy. I mean, villain monologue. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Why in the world are you going to sit there and spend... Okay.
Pass over to the dark
10...
side.
Yeah. I was wondering what you were trying to do. When the villain of the movie, when the villain of the movie, at the very end, they're in the final, conflict with the superhero, with the hero of the story. They stop what they're doing to spend 5 to 10 minutes explaining why they're doing the crap that they're doing.
Just like every single Bond villain.
And every single time. Oh, Smashy's a huge Bond fan. And every single villain.
James Bond. I'll take a martini second. Not scared.
When that happens, I'm just completely ignoring you. When that happens, when they're doing their monologue. Can I finish?
I had
Can I
John
finish?
Connery thing.
Anyway,
Go ahead.
so the whole time the guy's monologuing, the hero is getting out of their handcuffs or getting out from their rope or doing something,
escaping their trap,
and it costs the villain every single time. If I was the villain in a movie, I would be like some of these Tarantino movies. I would shoot them in the head in the middle of a sentence before they knew it was coming. Why in the world are you going to spend 10 minutes in a monologue to give your hero time to get out of it? It makes no sense at all. None. So I don't understand. I don't understand the villain's monologue. I never have understood that. Because usually when they're doing their monologue, they're explaining their whole rationale for doing what they're doing, which you've already seen their rationale through the whole movie. So you already know. The villain, the hero pretty much already knows. So why are they doing that again? It's just a what's the word I'm looking for? Not an avenue. It's a oh crap! I can't think of the word. Again, word finding problems.
What are you trying to describe?
It's a mechanism for them to give the hero time to escape. That's really all it is. It's really all it is. And so
Deus Ex Machina?
No, not that. Anyway, forget it. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what word I'm using. The point is, it makes no sense. There's no
opportunity.
There's no need. Moving on. Quit trying to figure out my word because I can't think of it because I know exactly what it is in my head. I just can't think of the word.
Plot armor.
So I don't understand why they do that. Why do they? And Smashy knows because she's a Bond fan. Every single Bond villain does the same thing. I mean, when Javier Bardem did his soliloquy thing. I mean, come on. It was a great, I mean, his monologue, it was a great monologue. He's great. I love that guy. But why? Why?
I may know.
Go. You're the literary people, not me. I'm a content absorber, not a content creator.
It's, essentially, all these villains need.
You can do whatever you want to, Smash. I don't care. If you want to lurk, that's fine. We're just like having people in the room.
Essentially, all of these villains need to feel superior over their target. They need to feel they outsmarted them. They need to feel they need to feel like they have them trapped in their clutches and have them feel like they are going to fail, you know. And because of that they want to go into this big thing as to why they're going to fail and why the villain is going to win, and they just continue going on and on and on. And it's basically it's pure ego, you know, because 9 times out of 10 the villain had a bad childhood that left them with bad self-esteem, and so any chance they get to make themselves feel better, they take it.
Yeah, but I mean,
they milk it.
But what Smashy said in the room is perfect. You know, no, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die by tying you to an overcomplicated machine instead of just killing you. That's exactly it. I don't understand that. Just kill him. Sorry, that sounded kind of harsh.
Just drop them in a tank full of sharks with laser beams on their freaking heads.
What are you, Dr. Evil? I mean, come on, man. $1 million.
$100 billion.
So anyway, so that's mine. That's I just.
Has anyone seen Mini-Me?
I can't take. He passed away. Did you know that?
I know he did.
He just passed away. I hate that. That's a shame. So anyway, I just don't understand the villain's monologue. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's been overused so much. I mean,
but sometimes it works and looks so good. Like, I love Scar's monologue in Lion King. I freaking love it.
No, that's true. I mean, and some of them work, but because everybody uses it, the ones that are good, they still lose their effectiveness a little bit and their impact a little bit because everybody uses it, right? If it's used sparingly and appropriately, then those will stick out better, and they'll have a greater impact in cinema than when everybody does it. So, anyway, all right. That's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say about that. That's what I probably should have put up there, right? So, and it's so funny, pre-production kind of behind the scenes kind of thing. All of our little phrases that we put up on marquee here, they're basically limited by how many letters I got. So I have to write out, okay, which quote do I want to do? And I'd sit there and go, okay, how many letters have I got? Yeah, I ain't got enough letters for that one. I gotta find something else.
Get more letters.
Well, I don't know if I can find some that are that specific size. That's the thing. So,
all you need to do is go on Amazon, look up the exact product, and then find the measurements, and then just find extra tiles made for that specific product. Usually they have it in. Normally these people buy these things together type thing. If you scroll down,
yeah, I know, and I'm anxiously waiting. This is completely aside, but I'm anxiously waiting for all of our other house renovation stuff that we're getting ready to start doing. Because it's several steps, because eventually in that step, I get to move my blanket fort to the other side of the garage and expand it a little bit and lengthen it a little bit. So I'm going to have a bookcase back here, one of our old black bookcases I'm going to have back here, so I can actually put some of my stuff back here instead of just the hanging thing with fishing line on the fake wall. And so I get some of my Funko Pops up there. I'm working on a design for an LED sign to put back there. So it's going to be cool.
If you make one, make a second one and send it to me.
Or you can save up and buy it yourself, Mr. Adult.
When you said making, I thought.
Oh no, I'm not making.
That's
No.
hand making.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm designing the logo stuff and having somebody else do it.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Okay. Yeah, if I was just making it, I would do that. But anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we've been talking way too long, and we haven't even got to the movie yet. And this is actually a good movie and fun movie to talk about. So, you think maybe we should move on?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we should. And I'm gonna have a lot to say about this, specifically about one character.
I know which one too. Because I actually like football, and there's football playoffs on right now, so I would like to watch the night game. So anyway, all right.
You're not recording?
No, I don't record football. No, I watch it live.
Oh.
So anyway,
Okay.
So now it's time for the next installment of
Roll for credits.
Alrighty, so we are reviewing the 1997 sci-fi classic that everybody, almost at least 5 to 10 women cosplay as a character from this movie at every Dragon Con, The Fifth Element. Connor had never seen it before. I've seen it multiple times. Love this movie, and this is the first time Connor
had seen it multiple times. And when they found out earlier that I had never seen it, they all stared at me. I'm like, and
they almost disowned you, didn't
they? Okay,
then.
then.
Mm-hmm. They almost disowned you. Yep. I would too.
You almost did the same thing when I told you Nikki never watched Monty Python.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's just wrong. It's just wrong. And there should be no excuse for not having seen Monty Python and Holy Grail. Sorry, there just shouldn't be. So, okay, so
multipass. Exactly.
I almost made that my sign too. I almost did that as my sign.
Why didn't you? That would have been hilarious.
I multipass. Anyway,
so this multipass.
So this movie,
I love her accent. That's what I love about it. It makes it. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
The accent the actress uses after she learns a bit of language, I love the accent. I can't quite place it. It's almost like a tie between Spanish and Hindi. Just it lilts off the voice.
Yeah,
I like it.
Well, and I mean, a lot of people look. People in nerd culture, we know this movie and we know that it's a good movie, but the general population doesn't know much about this movie. But I mean, yeah, it was made in 1997, a sci-fi movie. But I mean, it had a great cast: Bruce Willis, Milla Jovovich, Chris Tucker was in it. Gary Oldman, Ian Holm, do you know who Ian Holm is?
Actually, I don't.
Ian Holm, well, he was the priest, but Ian Holm is also Bilbo Baggins.
Really?
Lord of the Rings. Yes, he is Bilbo Baggins, and not only is he Bilbo Baggins from the Lord of the Rings movies, he was Frodo Baggins in the original radio teleplay of Lord of the Rings back in the day. He played the Frodo character, back in the 60s when they did the radio play of Lord of the Rings.
What?
And then when they did the movie, they brought him in to be Bilbo, and he was the priest. So, yeah, it's a great cast.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, real quick, Hickam,
yeah.
Who was Zorg?
Oh, that was Gary Oldman, who is also an Academy Award winner. So he played Lee Harvey Oswald in JFK, by the way. He also played Dracula in Dracula. I mean, he's a fantastic actor, and something
no doubt.
So the director of this movie was Luc Besson, something like that, French guy. And apparently, Gary Oldman was a big fan of his. They were friends, and he was a big fan of Luke's. And Gary Oldman accepted this role without ever even reading the script. When he found out that Luke had written it and was directing it, and he said, "Yeah, I'll do it." So he never even read the script and just signed on to do the movie before he even read the script. And then he got to be this weird, mean, deep Southern accent dude.
Two questions real quick.
Mm-hmm.
One, since this movie is so popular in the nerd culture, and also everyone who's listening has seen the movie, do we need to talk about the plot?
Well, I'm just gonna. You know what? I went into IMDb to pull out some stuff, and somebody had written a good synopsis. So I'm just gonna read it really quick, and that'll be it. And then we hadn't got to go into it, and that'll give us a synopsis, and then we can just kind of talk about it because we have been going up for over an hour already. So we should probably move on.
I know.
So this
may be the longest episode yet.
No. So this synopsis, I don't know who wrote it, but anyway, it says in the 23rd century, the universe is threatened by evil. The only hope for mankind is the fifth element, who comes to Earth every 5,000 years to protect the humans with 4 stones of the 4 elements: fire, water, earth, and air. Mondoshawan spacecraft is bringing the fifth element back to Earth, but is destroyed by the evil Mangalores. However, a team of scientists uses the DNA of the remains of the fifth element to rebuild the perfect being called Lilu. That's Milla Jovovich. She escapes from the laboratory and falls through, really, the taxi of the taxi driver and former elite commando Major Corbin Dallas, that's Bruce Willis, that helps her escape from the police. Lilu tells him that she must meet Father Vito Cornelius, that's Ian Holm, to accept her mission. Meanwhile, the evil uses the greedy and cruel Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg, that's Gary Oldman, and a team of mercenary Mangalores to retrieve the stones and avoid the protection of Lilu. But the skilled Corbin Dallas has fallen in love with Lilu and decides to help her to retrieve the stones. And everything goes from there. So, it starts with, like, ancient Egypt 300 years before present day, or something like that. And there's this whole prophecy that this ultimate evil comes every 5,000 years, but this fifth element will come to save the day every time, and these big robotic things, the Mandashawan or whatever, are the protectors of all that, and they'll come back and bring the fifth element with them, and da-da-da. Fast forward 300 years, and Zorg has decided he wants all of that because he wants to create destruction because he's a big industrialist. And there's a great line in there where he talks about, if there's destruction, then people are going to need things. So I'm going to destroy things so that my company can produce things so I can make more money. So I'm going to destroy the earth so I can make money making things to help people save the earth. So he's trying to play both ends, off each other. So that's the basic setup. So instead of us rambling about the setup of the movie, that's the setup of the movie. It's a nice sci-fi movie, and then we'll go from there. So you want to share your thoughts before I share mine? How do you want to go? You do whatever you want to do.
So first off,
yeah.
All of the characters were amazing. Just every single character was. I love the movie, and and very rarely have I loved a movie that we reviewed on here.
We've had some dogs lately.
Yeah, we've had some mangy disfigured dogs on here. Anyway, I just had a couple of questions about some of the characters.
Sure.
Well, about one character in particular. Zorg. When you first see him, he he's a
Weasley dude.
Latex outfit, styled hair, tiny little goatee on his chin, a little soul patch. That's when you see him, you don't think Southern guy from Alabama kind of talking,
Yeah, but the Weasley dudes are usually the meanest. They're the most cruel.
When you see him, you think Eastern European, and maybe German type sounding voice, because that's how it kind of looks in there.
Hey Pat, how are you, man?
What's up, Pat? No idea who you are, but welcome to the show.
So anyway,
it's just that always confused me, because the face didn't match the voice, in my opinion.
But here's the thing: it's not always, and that's another trope. That's another trope of movies that when we were talking about our Geek Question a while ago, the tropes of the bad guys are always these hulking, big, really evil-looking dudes, but not so much, right? Sometimes they're just like the Weasley dude that is angry and mean and has power, you know. And that was Zorg's character. So you know, and he played an evil character. He played, you know, over to just make money and destroy whatever he had to make the money that he needed to make. Not sure what that question is. It's over Anakin? I'm not sure.
It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground. I hate you. I loved you. You are my brother.
Speaking of which, I was
supposed to bring balance to the Force, not join it.
I saw a video clip of these two guys dressed as Anakin and Obi Wan in a mall, and they played out that scene. And one was at the bottom of an escalator, and the other was at the top of the escalator. They played out that whole scene in a mall, and nobody was expecting it. It was kind of funny. So.
Anyway,
So back to the movie. I like Zorg's character. The first time I watched it, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of a Weasley dude, but sometimes those are the best villains, the ones that you don't expect, right, in movies. So, what else do you have to say about the movie? What else did you like about it?
So the
Okay. I'll fill in time while he dies over there choking as he aspirated something and literally leaves the screen. He's rolled over dead.
A water bottle.
He's rolled over dead. We're talking about The Fifth Element. That's the one we're talking about. So
anyway, the scene that I loved the most, honestly, it was the opera scene. Well, I wouldn't say I loved it the most. It's the one that stands out the most to me. It's the opera scene. You know, when oh man, what's her name? I just watched it today. What's her name? Dang it.
What, the opera singer?
Yeah, Diva.
Oh, yeah, just Diva.
Yeah. As he was singing, amazing singing, by the way, but then randomly she started dancing, and she was like doing this popping and locking type stuff while singing a classical aria, and it's like the dance does not match the music.
Yeah,
it made me bust out laughing for some reason.
You know, and I mean, clearly you could tell that when she sang that aria, which is called Il Dolce Suono, or however you pronounce that, which is actually a real aria. That they had digitized it a little bit to hit those notes.
Yeah.
But if you get on YouTube, you can find a woman that actually sang that and nailed it. And there was no digitizing to it. It's crazy song to sing. I figured you were going to talk about Chris Tucker's character. That was going to be your favorite.
That's going to be the. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to talk about Ruby Rod. I mean,
he was.
I haven't seen Chris Tucker in many things. I have not seen him in many things, but every time I've seen him, he plays essentially the same character.
Yeah.
A fast-talking, high-pitched, high-energy person who's essentially the comic relief, and I freaking love it. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know. Come on, my man. Come on.
You can't.
On that fire. I quit smoking.
You can't.
Like,
there's no way you can keep up with. There's no way that you can keep up with Chris Tucker's, pattern of
with my
speech.
stutter. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway,
I freaking loved it. Every scene he came up, it was pure gold.
Yeah. And here's what I liked about the movie. One of the things I liked about the movie was, it danced the line between super cheesy and just a good sci-fi movie. You know, it kind of stood on the fence, and sometimes you feel, oh, we're going cheesy, oh, we're going super sci-fi. You know, it kind of.
But it ended super cheesy when you think about it.
But you kind of expected that. But it's kind of like, because I just got done watching Galaxy Quest again recently, because I watched the documentary for Galaxy Quest, which is amazing. Yeah. If you love Galaxy Quest, you got to watch the documentary that's on Amazon Prime. So it made me want to get it on Blu-ray. Got it on Blu-ray and watched it again. And thanks for the follow, Pat. And so,
man.
Anyway, so like with Galaxy Quest, it balanced. It stood on that balance. It balanced between we're going cheesy, old Star Trek, really super cheesy, campy, to a little bit of drama and just comedy and sci-fi. It kind of bounced back and forth. It really did a good job balancing between those. And I always thought Fifth Element did the same thing. I haven't seen it in a while, but yeah, it's super colorful, and it's there's a lot of there's action sequences, there's some comedy, there's a lot of comedy in it. But I was just reading a while ago that most sci-fi movies, the action sequences, it's always really dark, the dark corridors in the spaceship and all this kind of stuff. Well, the director wanted to make sure that all action sequences were done in full daylight, because he said he wanted like this cheerful, crazy look to the movie, which he definitely accomplished, right?
Yeah,
it was definitely cheerful and crazy. So that was one of the things that I really liked about it.
Even the mugger was cheery in the beginning. Remember?
I have to tell you, the mugger was probably my favorite character in the whole movie.
I mean,
he didn't. I don't know who the guy's name is, but just the strung out druggie trying to rob a commando, where he literally just takes the gun from his, you haven't got it loaded, and teaches him how to load their own weapon that he's got pointed at him. It's just, he was great. I thought he was great. He was only in the movie for 30 seconds, a minute.
And then in the end, he was like, okay, and hands up, and he was freaking dancing. He was freaking hammer dancing his way off screen. Remember?
I know that was hilarious. That was hilarious. So, now, all right. So, what else did you like about the movie?
Let's see. The animatronics, the animation, it all was very, very well done for the era this movie was made in.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. Now, granted, the alien characters, the Mangalores, when they talked, I mean, their mouths didn't move very well. Of course, if it had been CGI, they would have been much better. But for actual real effects, physical effects, not special effects, they were designed pretty well, and they moved pretty well. So I was pretty surprised with that.
Especially the Mondoshoans,
yeah, but they didn't really talk. Although, did you notice just the detail that they went to in this movie? In the beginning, back in ancient Egypt or 300 years ago, when the Mondoshawan or Mondoshawan, whatever you call them, when when they show up the first time, and you see that close up of the one looking close at the priest, and you can hear him breathing. His head, his mask, it's like there's like vents right here. His vents are actually opening and closing with his breathing. Just that they got down that specific to where. Just minute detail that they did. I thought that was that's the first time I noticed it this time that I've seen it several times, but this is the first time I noticed that. So they really get down into some specific details, and I really like that. And I like Bruce Willis. I've always liked Bruce Willis. He's funny. He does action stuff. So I thought he was cast really well.
Is he still alive? Wasn't he?
Yes, he's still alive.
Wasn't he part of Fast and Furious?
No, he's never been part of Fast and Furious. Not that I watched.
Thinking of then.
Not that I watched the Fast and Furious movies. Are you thinking about The Rock? You thinking about the guy that died in the actual car wreck?
The guy that died. Yes.
I can't remember his name. Which Brandon?
Paul Walker.
There you go. Very good, Paul Walker. Yes. Yeah. He died.
That's gonna annoy me.
So I've always liked Bruce Willis and stuff, so I thought he's cast really well. I thought Milla Jovovich did a great job with Lilo.
I know.
Now, did you know? No, see, she's because I want to do some research on this. She's from the Ukraine originally.
Yeah,
but she came over when she was a kid, like 12. Okay, so when she was little, her and her family immigrated to London, then to California, then eventually to L.A. So she's been in the States since she was a kid, but she's originally from there. She speaks 4 languages fluently.
Huh.
And the divine language that she was speaking in the movie was actually a language that Luke Besson, the director, created. Had a vocabulary of about 400 words. And she learned how to speak it fluently, and so did he. And so they would talk to each other in the divine language on set and send letters to each other in the divine language during the filming of the movie.
What the heck?
Oh, and by the way, they got married eventually. Eventually got divorced. And then she married the director of another movie she was on. So apparently she likes directors because she's been married 2 or 3 times. And at least 2 of the 3, or the majority of her husbands, have been directors on movies that she's been on. So
he likes being told what to do.
So, you said it, not me. So if you like Milla Jovovich and you want to have a shot, become a director in a movie. So I thought that was kind of interesting that they actually created a language, and so she's not just spouting gibberish in the movie; she's actually reciting lines in the movie in that language, which I thought was pretty cool. It's like a small detail. Most people just don't. They just think that they're just speaking gibberish, but it was actually a language that they did. So that was kind of cool.
You couldn't speak gibberish that smoothly if we just ad libs kind of gibberish, you know?
Yeah. So what else
you
want?
Couldn't.
Yeah. So anything else about this movie that you liked or didn't like? Were there things about it that you didn't like?
I didn't like the cheesy nacho taco quesadilla double blast of gas station nacho cheese ending to this movie.
Okay, so
love was the 5th element. And
it kind of made sense. The love thing was kind of made sense because you saw that love angle coming. You know, I mean, what were they going to say? The 5th element was antimatter. I mean, come on.
No.
When she's the 5th element,
they could have said to give the movie a real good grounding type ending. They could have said the 5th element was soul, and the only way she could have utilized the other elements would have been to sacrifice her soul to become a conduit for it, and basically sacrifice herself to channel everything up into the dark sphere.
Yeah,
that would have given it such a good grounding type of ending. But
right.
Instead, two loves kiss. Makes her spew light into the sky, and then they do it in an ultraviolet light protection pod.
Right, and I get where you're going with that. That if the movie had been a more serious, darker turn, you know, I can see that as definitely a way that they could have gone. That she ended up sacrificing herself. That she has to sacrifice herself every 5,000 years to save us from ultimate evil. I get that.
But the same time, if she did sacrifice herself, they still could have brought her back because that pod that brought her back in the beginning of the movie quite literally built her back from a couple of alive cells in a freaking hand.
I know, but if they had gone that route, it definitely would have, sacrificing yourself to save humanity. It's very, very Messiah-like, metaphor. And they may not have wanted to go that route, right?
They made a movie literally about the Passion of the Christ.
That was the point of the movie. This was not the point of this movie. This was a sci-fi movie. So they wanted to keep it like that. And so people that are going to go see a sci-fi movie would much rather see, in general, something that's a love story, that love saves the day kind of thing, than the other, because the other is a much darker turn. So I get where you're going with that, but I kind of like where it went, and I kind of, of course, you saw it coming the whole time, right?
Exactly.
But anyway, I just super love this movie, and so now, next time you're at Dragon Con, if you get to come to Dragon Con anytime soon, I know being in Ohio, it's going to be a little bit difficult now, but you'll see, now that you know what Lilo looks like, you'll see the 5 to 10. You'll see the 5 to 10 Lilos all over Dragon Con the entire weekend that I've seen for years that you've never noticed because you didn't know who she was.
I mean, yeah. I think the most common cosplay of her is the one that's basically just all those straps, and that's it.
Well, they either do that, they do just the straps, which are like the heating straps when she was first created, right? Or they do the thing with her white t-shirt, crop t-shirt, and the orange straps, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those two, right? They usually do the one that's just the heating straps because that's the much more risque, and that's what people like to get away with at Dragon Con. So there you go. But
there was
at least now you know.
Girl at Dragon Con still pisses me off now. This one girl at Dragon Con, she basically wore Batman themed lingerie, and she called it a cosplay as Batgirl, and it's like, girl, that's not a cosplay.
Welcome to Dragon Con, yeah, dude. You and I have, because we don't stay at one of the host hotels at Dragon Con, because I don't want to spend $1,200 for a weekend or however much it's going to cost, and we have family that lives north of Chicago and take the MARTA in for free. Well, not the MARTA, Chicago, Atlanta. Sorry, that's a heck of a commute. But dude, if we were in one of the host hotels and we could stay up all night and go to all the parties at Dragon Con After Dark, most of the cosplay at Dragon Con After Dark is straps or body paint. So,
straps, pasties, and body paint.
She was well dressed, considering some of the other people that we have seen at Dragon Con. I mean, we saw some woman in a Batwoman cosplay that was nothing but body paint walking down the street in the middle of the day at Dragon Con. So there's that.
I mean, to be fair, it makes sense comfort wise because latex in Atlanta heat in late summer, early fall gives you horrible swamp body.
Any type of clothes in Atlanta in the summer is uncomfortable because of the heat. I know. So, all right. So what did I think about this movie? I like I've already mentioned that I liked I'm looking for my notes here, that I liked that balance that it struck, kind of like Galaxy Quest did. Galaxy Quest was more like comedy versus, sci-fi kind of stuff, and this is more just cheesy, campy. But I really like that, and I've forgotten how much I like this movie. I think the first time I watched it, I didn't really completely understand what was going on. I may have been just kind of watching it with one eye. But I've really grown to appreciate the movie, and it's kind of in my normal rotation of watching when I can. I'd like to get it on 4K if I could, or Blu-ray, to really get those colors to pop on the screen rather than streaming. But it looks like we're having some major frame drops over here on the stream. Anyway,
yeah, I noticed that.
So I thought everybody did a great job with the acting. I thought their choice for the guy to play the president was kind of interesting, because I've seen him as like some kind of big bad boxer wrestler dude. I think he was in a movie with Hulk Hogan where he was the evil wrestler versus Hulk Hogan's good wrestler or something like that. Anyway, so I thought that was an interesting choice for president of the Intergalactic
Was he also in
Federation.
I think that guy was also in Little Nicky.
He may have been. I don't know. I don't remember if I've seen that movie, so I couldn't tell you. But
Adam Sandler played.
I know what it's about. I know who's in it, but I just haven't seen it before, so I couldn't tell you if that guy was.
It's on Netflix.
Great. I'm not a huge Adam Sandler fan. There's a couple of movies. There's a couple of his things that I like, but his shtick gets kind of old because he kind of does the same shtick in every movie, so it gets kind of old. So I'm not a huge fan of his, but some of his stuff is okay. But I've never seen Little Nicky. Trying to think if there's anything else about this movie that I need to say. I don't think so.
Yeah,
it was really good. If you've seen Fifth Element, you know what we're talking about. You know all the good stuff in this movie. You know that it's a classic that you should have in your regular rotation. If you've never seen Fifth Element, you owe it to yourself to see it, especially if you like any kind of sci-fi stuff. If you're a Bruce Willis fan, Milla Jovovich fan, any of those
Chris Tucker fan.
Yeah, he was a little over the top for me. He was okay.
He's always over the top, Dad.
Yeah, I know, and that's kind of why I'm not a huge Chris Tucker fan. But
He's basically Cat Williams.
okay, I'm not a huge Cat Williams fan either. So we'll not go on there. So anyway, it's one of those kind of movies where it's definitely, if for your nerd card, you better have seen this movie. If you haven't, you should turn in your nerd card. Look, and I know because I've got several movies on the list that I haven't seen yet that I should turn in my nerd card for because I haven't seen yet.
Like what?
I'm not going to say because then I might have to turn in my nerd card. Let me get them seen first, and then I'll watch. I haven't seen Big Lebowski. I haven't seen, and that's one I want to see. What is it? I'm trying to think.
Any of the Godzilla movies?
Oh, I couldn't tell you the last time I've seen a Godzilla movie. Probably one of the original Japanese Godzilla movies. So there's several out there that I just can't think of what they are right now. But anyway, so that's all I got about this movie. I ain't got anything else to say about this movie other than, hey, it's definitely worth a watch. You should definitely go check it out and see it. It's on Hulu. It's probably super cheap. I think it's super cheap to rent on Amazon. It used to be on Netflix and Amazon, but it's not on there anymore. But it is still on Hulu. So check it out and enjoy it. It's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anything else you're looking forward to or getting into lately?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, WandaVision just came out on Disney Plus.
What's that?
That's the new MCU TV show with Scarlet Witch and Vision. WandaVision. Get it? WandaVision. The first. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. But if you don't know who Wanda,
you do realize by saying that you're still dignifying it with a response.
So anyway, so they
there
released.
You go. That's what you do.
They released the first 2 episodes yesterday. I watched them late last night and early and then today. I got through the first episode, and it was basically like a black and white Lucille Ball show episode. And then I got into the second episode, and it was still black and white like a Lucille Ball or Bewitched type show. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm done. So I didn't even finish the second episode. I was talking about how bad I thought it was this morning to all my Discord friends, and they're like, yeah, it's good. It's better than you think it is. And so I went back and I finished the second episode today. And it is, there's some weird stuff going on. You're starting to get to see little signs that everything isn't what it seems. And they may be living in some kind of suspended animation, altered, universe kind of thing. And they're starting to realize that maybe this isn't real. So, I mean, I'll finish watching it, but I think that if they had released the first 3 episodes and given us a few more of those little evil hints of evil underneath throughout, it'd have been a better hook than just showing the first 2 episodes, both of which were completely in black and white like a 1950s sitcom. So I wish I'd waited until the whole season is out and just binged them all together. So there's that, but I am going to watch that. Finished watching Mandalorian recently, and that was really good, season 2. There's another show that you should watch if you guys like the reality shows at all. And I'm not a huge fan of reality TV shows like the competition shows like Survivor or whatever, but there's a really good one. It's only, I think, 6 episodes, and it's on Netflix, called Win the Wilderness. There's this couple. There's this man, Dwayne Osee, and 30 years ago, he hiked 57 miles out into the Alaskan wilderness, staked his claim on a mountain and homesteaded a mountain, and built over 9 years, built a 3-story log cabin and a guest house and a greenhouse on his land, cleared off the top of the mountain and made an airstrip so that, he could get supplies and stuff, met a woman, and they got married, and so they built this place. And now you can tell they're in their 70s, maybe getting into their 80s, and so they know that they can't keep it up anymore, and they're going to have to move on. So it's a competition with 6 couples and whoever wins the competition at the end of the show gets the mountain and gets the house.
Wow.
Yeah. And apparently they had pitched this show, and a British production company picked it up because all the couples were British, couples from Britain. But it was really good. It was really good. The competitions weren't that intense or whatever, but the competitions were there. The couples were really good. Some were okay, but some were great. And, man, it tugged on your heartstrings when you got to the last episode, and Dwayne and Rena, the OCs, literally walked out of the house, never to come back again. With the winning couple standing inside the house, it's now theirs. And this is a house that they've spent 30-something years building. They own the mountain, and they're leaving it to these people.
Wow.
And so when they go up to the top of the mountain, to the airstrip, to fly away back to civilization, I mean, Dwayne reaches down and grabs dirt in the airfield and grabs it and just holds it in his hand. And he says, take care of these people, talking to the mountain. I mean, this is his life. So it was really good. It was really good. So it's worth a watch. It's only 6 episodes, too, so it's not a long thing. And the couple that I liked from the very first episode is the couple that won. I nailed it. I picked the right one. I'm not very good at that, but I picked the right one this time. So anyway, just some things to be looking forward to, some things you guys should check out. I don't have anything else. It's almost 9 o'clock. We've been doing this for almost 2 hours. We started at 7. It's 8:42.
I told you, our longest episode yet.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sure Smashy's already gone to bed with, or trying to get her kid to bed. So anyway, thanks for listening. I don't have anything else going on. We'll be back next Friday. We typically do this Fridays at 8 o'clock, not Saturdays. So we'll be back on our normal schedule next week. Oh, we have to roll dice for our next movie. So that's what we do. We roll dice, and we literally pick a movie at random. We pick between Hulu and Amazon and Netflix, and we'll roll for the network. We'll roll for the category, and then we'll roll for the movie in that list. So let me roll and see what we got here. All right. So we roll a 20-sided dice to pick one of the 3 categories. And Connor does this. If it's a 1, we roll again. If it's a 20, then the person that rolls picks the category, picks the network, and then he's got it set up in the middle somewhere. So, okay, I rolled an 11. So that would be Hulu. So we're going to watch a movie off of Hulu again. And then I'm going to roll by 6-sided dice. And I got a 6. So that is a crime. That's in the crime genre. All right. And then let me get my percentage dice here. And I rolled a 35. So let me go look and find the 35th movie in the crime genre on Hulu. I'll be right back, everybody. Oh, this looks kind of interesting. I don't even know anything about this. I've never heard of this movie before.
What is it?
So we're going to be watching a movie from 2016 called The Limehouse Golem.
Huh.
It stars Douglas Booth, Olivia Cook, Sam
It's
Reed.
pronounced Golem.
The Limehouse Golem, whatever.
Golem.
Anyway,
Golem.
it's a crime mystery thriller. And the little tag is, in Victorian London, a Scotland Yard inspector hunts down the sadistic killer behind a series of gory Jack the Ripper-like murders. That should be good. I like those kind of movies. So that's going to be our movie we're going to review next week. Yeah. And jump in with us. We love having people to talk to instead of just each other. Because he's my kid, so I've been talking to him for 20-something years. It's fun having other people to talk to sometimes. So jump in with us. And if you're listening to this as a podcast or if you're watching this on YouTube, man, give us a like or a subscribe or any of those kind of things, because ratings help us get noticed a little bit more. We don't do this to try to make money. We do this to have fun, but we like to have people to talk to, and the more people that know about us, the more chance we have people to talk to while we're doing it. So
yeah, exactly.
So that's the fun part. If you'd been here last week when we had about 10 people in here, it was a blast, and it was sometimes inappropriate, but it was a blast. So anyway, y'all, thanks for coming by. Pat, thanks for following us and coming in and finding us randomly, I guess. And Smashy, as always, thanks for popping in when you can. And we've had a blast, and we will see you guys next Friday at 8 o'clock. So until next time,
stay nerdy, my friends.
I didn't know you were still here, Smashy. And Connor the Dancer. All right, y'all have a good night. Thanks for watching.
Peace.
Bye, guys.